Alrighty folks, got my impact here with some sockets because my package finally come in from Elmer's Repair to change the 3-point hitch cable. So pretty sure really all we got to do is undo this plate to get to the valve body where we can get to this end of the cable. And then obviously I think we have to take the top dash panel out, or side panel out, this panel maybe. Might have to take it off, should have to. Or I might can get to it from the bottom. Yeah, it'd probably be easier to get it from the top up there, honestly, than from down here, but y'all get the gist. We're changing the cable. That way we can have a functional 3-point hitch, because I have a little hay field I actually need to do some tillage on. Because it hadn't been made hay on in probably 5 years, and it's grown up in broom sage, and it's been bush hogged consistently every year. I think it's been bush hogged twice a year every year for the past several years, but it's just broom sage and trash. And I already put out a couple tons of lime on it, so we're going to you know, till the lime in. So just today is Monday. I just put the lime on it yesterday, Sunday. And I'm gonna chisel it, leave it sitting for a day, couple days, because we don't have no rain in the forecast. Chisel it pretty decent, and get everything dead, and then come back and disc it. And I'm gonna sow it in Sudan grass, which is, to me, from my perspective of just seeing it, and my pawpaw's grown that stuff dozens of times, it's just pretty much domesticated Johnson grass, but it makes a really good stand of grass and a really good stand of hay if you have good, warm, hot, consistently, good rain. Obviously a drought ain't good for nothing, but consistent rainfall and consistent heat, and that stuff does really well. Makes really good hay for cows anyway, not much for horse hay, but anyway, that's the plan with that, to get rid of that broom sage, because the lime will help get rid of it, keep it from coming back, change the soil pH, and the Sudex will hopefully just kind of weed it out. In other words, take the Sudex will be so thick that the broom sage hopefully won't have a chance to come back. But I was tempted, me and my buddy that's doing this hay together, I was tempted to just leave it, just lime it and leave it, but there's so much trash in it, so much trash, and like I say, the whole top of the field's just broom sage, so we're getting rid of that. But anyway, we're gonna get this cable changed out and see if the 3-point works, because I have yet to find out if it works. Nothing else is stuck on the tractor as far as hydraulically. The transmission seems fine, the remotes work, the PTO works, so this is the only thing that was not working, because the cable was seized and I jerked on it and split the cable. So it's it should become functional after this, hopefully. Alright, so as you can see, I have the seat platform and everything set up on the fuel tank. Really, and this plate sits over that. It's really actually pretty simple. It's just these 4 bolts you take out that hold the plate and the seat mount to the floor. Just if you ain't strong, have a buddy with you, because that sucker is heavy. Anyway, I'm pretty positive this cable right here is the one we are changing. I'm not sure what that, I think that one is the sensing cable. you know, that senses the load. Who knows if that one's in account as well. I mean, I hope it is, but might have to be replacing that. I mean, look how the rubber's just falling apart on that. And maybe try to clean out some of this dirt that's caked up in here too. But this is the cable we're replacing. Shouldn't maybe be too bad. Just take it off down here, and then take this top cover off this side panel, control panel, and which it might, I don't know if I can get them knobs off all these levers. They're pretty on there, on this one especially. We might can get them off, I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna try our best here. All right, so this is the cable here. I took this off and raised it up, and it's that cable right there on that deal. So what needs to happen is get that nut off loosened, which I figured out I can actually access it better from the bottom than I can up here at the top. So, and I'm pretty sure, you know, you got to take this nut off of that, so that will slide out of there. It should be just a, yeah, that's just a 3/8. See, some stuff can be easy, but some stuff is a royal pain, so we're taking wins where we can. I already know I'm going to be cussing on the bottom part because I already have been cussing on it. Because, I mean, I don't know if you can see how rusty that is, but it's pretty rusty and it really does not want to come off there. So, gonna get this longer wrench. I was using my stubby wrench for better access, but I need this longer wrench for leverage, so hopefully we can get it. All right, as y'all can tell, it's dark. Went to my brother's house because it was his birthday today, but as you can see, I kind of broke this lever like an idiot, because I was, you know, messing with this, and then this, because this is the draft sensing cable, because this that lever is so daggone stiff. I need to loosen up the things that keep the lever tight, tensioned. But you move this cable in and out, and that's what moves your draft sensing. That's what this moves in here. For, you know, like a lot of tractors, it's got a lever up and down for if you want your lift to prioritize going down, like pushing down, or if you want it to lift up, like, you know. So anyway, I was hitting on this with a hammer because this is so rusty. Like that pin, and you see I tried to take the car key out and I broke it off. But that is so rusty that what do you call that? Then a shackle. It's a, I don't remember what them are called, daggum it. But anyway, this piece where that pin goes through that arm will not pivot because it's rusted fast. And I was trying to work it back and forth, and it just broke because I was tapping it with a hammer like a dummy. So I got this to spin off here, and I'm going to take that off and go to the shop and weld it real quick. That way it'll be ready to put back together tomorrow. And then maybe we can possibly somehow put the cable on tomorrow. I still never did get the old one off because it was just being a pain. It's too rusty. Alright, as you can see, I got this piece in here. Got it beveled down really good since I can't weld it from the bottom side. I got this piece freed up, where this pin slides in and out really nice, because it was seized in there. And I have that ground down where we can weld it. I'm going to take the air nozzle and blow off all this dust that's in here. Hopefully nothing catches on fire. Hopefully. There's a water hose outside and there's a fire extinguisher in here too, right over there on that there wall. So hopefully we don't have no incidents. Alright, as y'all can see, I have it mocked up here. I got this file braced under there to kind of hold it up and to keep, slag from falling down somewhere and catching on fire. So anyways, I'm gonna hold it with my pliers and see if I can get it tacked, and then we'll see what needs to be done. Wish me luck. It's tacked. Let's see what kind of booger welding we can do here. My God, it's welded. Not too shabby a welding. I had that sucker turned up pretty good too, which was kind of the idea. Let's go turn the welder off. I'm pretty satisfied with the weld, honestly. So now, I actually got the knobs to screw off of these that had the knobs anyway. Now, since I got the knobs off, I took this top panel off and I can actually get in here better. So I'm gonna take a cutoff wheel, cut that cable, and that way I can get a socket on that because it's a 5/8. So I can get a socket on that and hit it with the impact, because it is being so stubborn because it's so rusty and it's been on there for so long. It won't budge. So we're, like I say, we're going to take the impact, take the cutoff wheel, see if we can cut that cable. Because I tried it with wire nippers and everything else, and that cable is some strong cable. It ain't wire. Yeah, wire cutters did not cut it. So we're going to, like I say, cut it off and put a socket on it with the impact gun. And while I'm in here, I need to loosen this nut right here to back off the pressure on this lever, because that cable for the draft control, it's this cable, it moves freely. It moves pretty freely, It's just that this, I mean, you can see the difference in spring tension. That sucker is tight. So we're going to loosen that up some. That way she can move. And anyway, that's the plan. Whoa, baby. I got her off of there. The impact trick worked. My idea worked. I'm so freaking happy. I was so pissed off at this thing yesterday for that being such a pain. I am super happy now, man. Holy cow. And then just for even more satisfactory reason, and instead of trying to drag that cable out, I cut it. That way I could just drag it one end out one end and the other fell out the bottom. So now all I gotta do is put that new cable on and hook that shackle thing back up to that arm that I re-welded and hook the spring up. And in theory, we should have a working 3-point. I pray to God that we do. Pray to God that we have a working 3-point after this endeavor. All right, as you can see, I got the new cable kind of put on here loosely. Just a little tip. You want to take this and bottom it out this way, and put this where it pretty much bottoms out when this bottoms out, if that makes sense. You know, you want that to be the end of the travel of the cable is pulling all the way against that to bottom it out. And same way, vice versa, you want it to push all the way the other way, if that makes any sense. You know, you want the travel to travel fully. That way it actually works like it's supposed to, is what I'm saying. So it's not complicated. As you can see, it's kind of wet because I'm stupid. I threw this down on the ground like a dummy and broke that off. So I still have it, so you can just kind of have to put it on there and spray it, and I got it everywhere. But I'm just trying to lube up everything, because all that stuff looks pretty, you know, old and rusty. Mainly that, because I need to get that nut backed off of this draft control lever. Anyways, we shall continue on here. Alright, as y'all can see, I have the shackle piece put on there. Now, I thought ahead because since this one was seized, I don't know if you can see that, but I put grease on those pins before I put them in, and you know, put the cotter keys in the bottom. But hopefully the welds will hold on that. I am gonna spritz it with a little spray paint to keep it from flash rusting and such. But now I'm gonna get in here with a wrench and try to loosen that nut off of that spring tension. Try to loosen up that spring tension on that thing. And then I'm gonna crank it up and then put that spring back on that. Well, I still have to put the cable up in here also, but once I get all that fixed, I'm gonna crank the tractor up and verify, you know, that it's gonna work. So, wish me luck again. Sorry guys, but a lot of footage got lost here in between the last clip and the next clip. But just to sum it up, the fixing the cable did not fix the 3-point. So I ended up having to get a new or a reman spool valve, 3-point hitch spool valve for this tractor. I got it off Elmer's Repair because they actually sell them reman, and because mine was stuck. Right. And so yeah, that's what the rest of this video is about. We should be ready to go. And I got all the O-rings on. Pro tip here, I mean, I ain't a pro, but just an idea for you. If you're ever in a situation like this where you are sitting something like this on something and the O-rings are hanging, get a little bit of some just grease and just tack onto the edges of it, and they'll stick up in there and they'll stay. So, and I did take the snap ring off, that way I can spin this like so to get them threads started. Should be ready to put her in. Alrighty folks, as you can see here, I got the spring and the snap ring and the washer back on. I got the nut on there. Now we got to put that bracket for the cable back on and hook up the cables, and then we'll be able to fire this sucker up and see what happens with her here. Hopefully, I pray to God that this fixed it. If it didn't, I'm going to be rather irritated. So anyway. Oh, and a tip here. When you're putting this spring back on, find you a little bolt to stick into that hole. Push the spring back, then drop the bolt in there, and it'll hold the spring while you slide this washer and put that snap ring on. Works pretty good for that. So, and I tightened down, yes, I tightened it, the shaft. I just put a pair of vice grips on it and tightened her pretty good to that linkage in there. So anyway, and I tightened down all the bolts good. The nut there's tightened up good. So we should be pretty good on the home stretch here. I pray to God. Anyway, we'll see what happens here when we get this bracket on here and put the cables back on. We're gonna find out if she works or not. All right, see, I'm gonna move this lever, which is the 3-point lever. See how she moves freely now? The spool valve is coordinated with that. And this, see how this is pushed down like in the push down mode. And the cable's out here, but this is here. So it is in the rise position. So now what I'm gonna do is I put that fuel line on there. So it might not crank the easiest, but at the same time it might just fire right up. We're gonna crank her and see what happens with the 3-point. I'm gonna leave it down. I figured it was going to run out of fuel there. There's the moment of truth here. Do they raise? Yeah, baby! Do they lower? Yeah! That's what I'm talking about! Woo! We fixed it! Dadgum, I'm excited now. Holy cow. I am pumped. Alrighty, folks. As y'all seen, got the 3-point fixed. Now, I was gonna take this thing and do a little disking with it today, but it freaking come a thunderstorm. So it's a little bit too wet now for the next couple days, but we're gonna do something exciting tonight. Gonna be putting some new lights on this thing. I got these LEDs, whatever they are, PAR 36s, off Amazon. And they were actually really cheap. Well, not really cheap. They were $50 a piece. But I mean, that really looks like a good quality, like, light. And I know the light wiring seems to be intact. I mean, this light even works. And I got some new ones for the back too with the toggle switches for them to turn them on and off. And I think that'll be pretty sweet to be able to turn them on and off. This one, yeah, we'll take it off, and I'll have 2 on the back with toggle switches, and then the 2 on the front. Well, you know, will turn on when you turn the key on, and the back ones will come on, or not when you turn the key on, but when you turn the switch on, and the ones on the back will come on when the switch is on and the toggle switch is on at the same time. So, kind of excited actually to get some lights on this thing. And I don't know if y'all can tell, but the camera quality should be better because this is a brand new iPhone 16 Pro versus what I was filming with before was an iPhone XR or something. So the camera quality should be better than before. And hopefully after these lights are on, literally I only need one more part, I think, for this thing. And I think they just sell them generic because a lot of tractors and equipment use that same little plastic bowl that goes around there with the cap on the top. It's about all I need. Everything else is pretty dialed, and a grill, but I doubt I'll find a grill. But anyways, I'm gonna put these lights on. Pretty simple, just wire them up to the old wires. I gotta test these wires. I don't know if they work because that light didn't work, but I know the other side does. So here we are, folks. Look how bright these things are. They are bright. Got them at the back here. 2 at the back. It's a nice little toggle. Turn them on and off. And front ones. Take her outside here and see how good we can see. I don't know if y'all can see how good we can see now, but the difference, I mean, obviously the flashlight, the phone flashlight's on there too, but look at the difference. Let me get a shot with the flash off, that way you can't really see the good. This is an epic sight, actually. The dash lights with these freaking awesome LEDs. This is freaking sweet. Best upgrade so far.